fruit. I paint pictures with my words, tangled thoughts and feelings. Growinggames.com, Rory Favreau. Tangled thoughts and feelings.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Growing Gamers podcast. My name's Tory Favreau, and thank you so much for, if you're watching, if you're listening, it doesn't matter how you're doing this thing. I'm so glad that you're here today to enjoy it with me, and I'm going to be covering the game Nioh 2. It's only just come out, a PlayStation exclusive. So if you don't have a PlayStation, I guess you won't be playing this game. So look, I say that and I do joke about it a lot, but I know there's plenty of games that are on the Xbox or on the Switch as well that PlayStation gamers can't play. But I'm in a lucky position that I own all three consoles, so I can always have a crack at it. As said before, this is Nioh 2. This is an explicit podcast, which means I may swear on occasion. If you're offended by that sort of language, please either stop the video or do not listen to the audio version of it. You know what? You probably just shouldn't be on the Growing Gamers, for fuck's sake, really. I swear almost every show, because I'm a man of action, salting fruit, painting pictures, and most importantly, I get to the point. There's no juxtaposition. I can't even say words properly, even though I know them in my head. Now, if you are watching the video, I have to apologise. It's probably boring. I'm terrible at this game, but I nearly didn't post it. The reason why I did, though, is I realised that even though I died heaps, and you will see me die heaps. Now, just in case you're not sure what's going on, Nioh takes place in Japan in 1555. I'm reading the back of the case. A land infested with endless warfare, monsters and evil spirits. Master the lethal art of the samurai as a rogue mercenary cast with the powers of the mythical yokai. Hunt your enemies as you try to survive the treacherous Sengoku area and the nightmarish Dark Realm in this brutal massacre action RPG. Death is coming. And yes, it did. Heaps. I died and died and died and died. And it just frustrated me no end. This game looks so beautiful. It's like I sucked at Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I like to be able to run in and fucking own things, or at least feel like I am. I'm a great shit talker, but when it comes to these sorts of games, bloody any game, I say this constantly to everyone. I love games, but I'm not good at them. So this game in particular, I knew would take a lot of getting used to. I spent time. There is the option to go into like a training dojo where you sort of get a better feel for things, and one of my friends who is really good at this sort of game is just like, I've told him that, another person I knew had just died so much playing this game. He's like, but eventually you don't. And he's right. So that's why the video's up. If you do want to play Nioh 2, it is beautiful. There is character and class customization. I'd totally forgotten this part of the video that's playing at the moment. If you pray at a shrine, you get your health back, but of course everyone regenerates. The enemies do severe damage. It's beautiful. The graphics are stunning, and it's just so much fun. And I must admit, even the stupid little creatures that I've only beaten so far, I haven't even beaten anything big or substantial. The little guys that I've beaten so far, if I've successfully parried, it was like, you hear that chong, and I was like, yes, I did it. It's not an easy game. It's not my general style of game. It's not something I jump into a lot, but it is beautiful. So like, if you were to get this game, just then you might have heard a little parry. If you were to get this game for yourself, it is very, very rewarding with an absolutely horrendous learning curve. The game, even though it gives you a training ground to sort of learn fighting styles, doesn't do a very good job of it. It's the only weak point of the game, I believe, trying to teach you how to play. And also sort of, the game's about learning, constant learning. Like, there's these little goblin-y sort of creatures, a Gaki, that has killed me numerous times in the video. If you are watching, if you're not, then you'll hear his little yells and stuff. He looks like a little monkey sort of creature. He pounds the ground and this dark shadow appears all the way around, and I don't know what it does. Like, everything's about studying like what sort of damage you're going to take, what will happen. You can't just run in and keep hitting. I learnt that, like, I've played it before you guys saw me play. I had a quick session with it where I died almost immediately, and I was just like, is this a game I really want to continue with? And I thought, don't be a weak sack of shit, have a crack at it, because it's reviewing quite well in other outlets, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. And more to the point, I spent fucking $100. What was it? $129 on the collector's edition, just so I could show you me fucking undoing the thing, which is beautifully presented. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, just look up The Grown Gamers and you'll see the unboxing of the special edition. It is something really special. Special edition, best. That sounded like it was fucking breaking then, didn't it? That was just me, because I've got natural fucking gifted skills with the fucking mouth. The game is gorgeous. It's just like, you feel like you're there. Little petals fall to the ground from, trees. There's massive monsters that, funnily enough, let me give you a tip. The first massive monster that you see in the game, you actually don't have to fight. Just run around. He's not going to chase you. You are nothing to him. The first time around, I thought, I've got to take that mofo on. No, I didn't. I just had to get past him and keep on going. I could have fought little guys all day long. You pick up stuff as you play the game, and one of the interesting things is that you do get to pick up the abilities of other players. Other corpses that have fallen, that have been killed by these monsters. You do get to pick up their skill set, which can basically, it's about teaching your character how to progress through the game. Now, your teacher teaching to it. This is so professional, isn't it? You're going to see me die heaps, and now I can't talk. At the start of the game, you get to choose what sort of like demon or yokai type that you want to be, and you also do get a spirit animal to teach you or to attack for you, and they're quite beautiful. The training ground doesn't tell much. This first chamber where you select your swords and everything, it's very, very lame in terms of how it does present. It's almost as though it expects you to have tried one of these games before and have just a sort of intuitive guess at what is going on. And it certainly wasn't the case for me. Though I am feeling, even going as far as I have, which is hardly at all, every time I run through, every time I die, I come back going, okay, I get that now. I can't just run in and do that thing now. And there's still a lot more I do need to learn in order to enjoy this game more, because it is quite in-depth. I could see during the game I was picking up like gauntlets and other bits and pieces, and to be honest, I'm not even far enough through to know if I can equip them or whether they're just random items that you pick up that it tells you you've picked up. And I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, but it doesn't tell you anywhere, oh, you've picked up these items, they're better than what you've got. Why don't you try putting them on? Maybe it is just a case of trying to move your way through the world by yourself and seeing if you can progress by yourself, experimenting with the menus. You don't get attacked when you're in menus, which is a good thing. And I don't know, I don't have a very good explanation just to why such a complex game has so little. Like in the video at the moment, I just picked up Thief's Greaves. Okay, so now I should be able to pick up that skill set, I believe, because it was from a corpse. I defeated the Gaki that was guarding it, and now I've got that ability. And I did try it just briefly. It didn't seem to be anything special. It was a skill set or a move set that I already knew. There are graves throughout the game which are really cool. They are benevolent or evil graves, and essentially you can once you get the right amount of stuff in the game, you can resurrect those players, well, their AI counterpart of them, and they will either help you or attack you. And now, one of the things a lot of people were saying is if you see it blue, it's generally a benevolent, and otherwise you may be attacked by the very thing that you've resurrected to help you. It's an ingenious move. It does give the ability for a multiplayer scenario without it really being multiplayer. It's like a ghost version of that player. And so the game will generate these graves where other people have dropped and died, and you can bring them into the game, and if you really want to, you can even turn on them and take what they've got. Their skill set, everything's there. It does show you, and it is when you finally fall, if you quit out the game, then that's what will be left in the game. You can continue and you'll still have those things, but it's like it's a sense of what you've dropped within the game that other players can then interact with, making it feel like a little bit like Death Stranding. You can't actually see anyone else in the game, but you can hear their echoes or see the things they've built, which is a pretty cool move. Exploration is key in Nioh 2. Often paths will lead down to absolutely nothing that you can't get through. Sometimes you can remove a barrier and continue on quite nicely, enjoying the game to its fullest. There are little bits and pieces hidden around the game that are well worth looking into. I often was checking out these little grave sites to see if they were something I could use, and often I would totally forget. I'd have full health and I'd pray at a shrine to do the save point, and have just regenerated everyone I just fought against, which made it interesting. R3 on the PS4 DualShock controller does allow you to target the creature that's in front of you. This is important. If you do watch the video, you will see me screw this up multiple times, because I'm just a fucking hack when it comes to these games. But with the ability to center on the character I needed to fight, it did give me the opportunity to really try and get past them, and also, because I wasn't good at aiming my attacks, to take several swipes with my sword. There is a stamina gauge that does drop, however it fills back up again, and I did notice that some of the gaki, like the shadow element that they drop on the ground when they hit it, did seem to absorb the stamina that I had. I don't know if that was its only effect, but it certainly did affect gameplay in that regard. I kept trying initially because I didn't realize I needed stuff in order to resurrect other players, and I don't have what's required at this early stage in the game. So if you are watching on the YouTube video, that's me trying to figure things out, because there is nothing that tells you what to do. You simply find stuff, interact with it until you can figure it out, unless you're just a gun at this sort of thing, which I certainly was not. But it just made the overall experience really good. The deflection, like I said, was amazing, and you will see me just fighting the same monsters over and over, because I'm just tooling around with no idea of what I'm doing, to be honest. In other news, E3, because of the coronavirus or COVID-19, I hope none of you guys are affected. If you are, I wish you nothing but the very best of health and speedy recovery. Don't forget that other people are extremely susceptible to this virus, especially the old or people who have been through certain conditions such as diabetes, or something wrong with their heart, or little kids. So just be really good, be really safe for your own sake, but for everyone else's sake too. It's one of those weird things. Like, I do think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but what form is that going to take? I've got utterly no idea. I know people have been hurt and people have died, and I just don't want anything bad to happen to you guys, or for anyone else for that matter. So that's just something, practice normal. We all know how to wash our hands properly. We all know that, you don't sneeze into your fucking hand and then high five your fucking homeboy. So don't do it. Back to the game. All right. So during this particular period of time, there are elixirs, sacred water, other things you can pick up in order to look after your character who doesn't have COVID bloody coronavirus. Now, in the video that you're looking at, I did go back to a site where I died. I was able to touch the grave of my grave site, and of course my fucking spirit animal came back to me. I know it's not its proper name, but I truly don't care. Speedy battle does not win the fight in this case. I found I would strike, I would parry. There were certain attacks though that did stun my opponent, and I didn't realise until later that they were stunned, which actually gave them time to recover and get back up. Also, sometimes some of the battle bits are a little bit blocked and blurred, so if you stay in the fight zone for too long, you are going to miss key parts of encounters that will let you know that you should have gone back, or you should have run away and parried, because parrying is a big part of this. There are also what they call different dashes and dodges, and they will come into play fairly soon. In fact, I do believe some of it is shown in the in this video, because I record over the top of these. I play it, and then some of them I do record afterwards, which is the case here. Now, I did find that even when you did pick up other abilities, I mean, unless you're like a fighting guru, I'm certainly not. All the combinations and stuff, I certainly found it just a little bit overwhelming, and it was something that was extremely tough to deal with because I'm just not good at remembering combos like that. Give me simple combos, but some of these were looked like huge button combo tapping, and I'm not built for it. But like I said, this is very early days, and I'm going to continue playing because it's such a beautiful looking game. I do think, like, the collector's edition, if you want all the special stuff, yes, it's certainly worth it. Just died again. Sorry guys, another Garky. They just like biting me. I must be the succulent sweet meat that they just want to wrap their fucking laughing gear around. I don't make the rules, I just play by them, because in video games you have no choice. Now unfortunately, some of these fights, they're frustrating because they're not fast. Like, you just can't speedrun this game at all. I'm sure good people can. But when you die, you go back to the last shrine you prayed at. And in my particular case, I was way back. So you see me fighting someone that beat me before, and all of a sudden, you know, I've died 2 or 3 dudes later, and I have to go all the way back and refight those guys because there's no shrines for you to pray at. Praying at the shrines, however, will resurrect the guys that are behind you, as I've said before. But I just noticed with each run, I did just that little bit better, and they were swinging like bloody, you know, an expert samurai by the end of it. Not really, not at all, not even slightly. But I felt a lot more confident going into it because this game will just slap you down so hard and fast. It honestly does feel as though you will not make it through the game at all. And it is just a matter of hit, miss, you know. Resurrect, learn more. But the rewarding feeling when you do it is certainly worth it. I can't wait to see what happens if I ever make it further. I can't wait to see, like, further on, the monsters that I may have to fight. Some of the yokai in the training area, the dojo, were extremely large, and I'm sure they were depowered in order for you to learn, but I did find it extremely interesting that I could have beaten them there, and that did give me the confidence to go back out into the game world. If you're watching the video at the moment, there was a red sword, a red grave buried into the dirt there. Now that's one of the malevolent spirits. If you do want to just get a whole heap of swag really quickly, that would certainly be a way that you would want to go in order to pick up their goods and make the most of what they had picked up, and just take advantage of their death, to be honest, if you think you've got the skill set to take on what was there. I did a lot of looking around because I'm used to other games where there is stuff hidden all over the place, and I'm constantly trying to find it or pick it up. I'm a little bit of a completionist. If I do enjoy the game that I'm playing, I'll do everything in my power to find absolutely everything. Like, I'm playing Ghost Recon Wildlands at the moment, and I'm loving it. So I'm trying to find every document, every secret, every weapon, which can, you know, in some games it can make it tedious, but I've been very fortunate that I have been able to play this game with other people, and it has taken some of the, you know, rinse and repeat factor out of the game as I've been playing it. As you can see at the moment on the video, if you happen to be watching or hearing the audio in the background there, this time round I've done quite well against the Garky. In fact, I don't believe I took any damage or next to no damage during that encounter, and it's those moments that I just went, yeah, okay, I think I can actually do this. If I keep trying, I think I can do this. And then I'd get schooled by something else that would teach me, hey, you're not the boss of me. But every encounter just got that little bit easier as I learned to anticipate what they were doing. And maybe that is just what you're meant to do throughout. Just anticipate what you're doing and make your best out of every encounter until you learn their moves, and then you can go through to decimate them. And I dare say that's where more skilled players would go through and do speed runs, because they know exactly what that character is going to do, and they can make the most of their weaknesses. Whereas for me, I'd try to run back for a bit, and then I would come forward, try another attack. I had to really slow myself down, and just then, even though if you're watching the video you would have seen it looked as though I was going well, dead again. It's just, you just can't take anything for granted at all in this game. It's just one of those things where you take something for granted, you pay the sacrifice for it, Graphically, as I said before, it's an absolute treat. The areas in this video are very dark, but they've got beautiful amounts of detail in them. I tried fiddling with the video before I uploaded it to see if I could improve the quality, but it really took away some of the creepiness of the nighttime detail that this game actually had on it, and eventually I just reset everything back to its default. I am playing this game on a PlayStation 4 Pro through a Samsung QLED TV in HDR. So I am lucky that I'm probably seeing the game almost in the best way that you can see it. And when it outputs, apparently it does do something to the HDR because that's how it is playing through. But hopefully it doesn't impact you watching this video. And I know it certainly won't fucking impact you listening to the dulcet tones. I do recommend this game, wholeheartedly. If you're wanting a really hard game to learn, to master, like this would be one of those games where if you beat it, you'd really have bragging rights. There's nothing easy about it. It's learn, die, learn, die, learn. So that's why I do want to play it through a bit more than what I've tried with others. It has encouraged me, however, to actually go back to Sekiro, which, if you guys have listened for a while, you'll know that game's my enemy. Even though I killed 6 people, thought I was fighting a boss battle, and it was just a guy with a bigger sword. Everyone laughed at me, and fair enough, I deserved it, because I didn't pay attention, and I wasn't taking the time to learn what the game had to offer. However, this here does have a skill wheel that will open up throughout the game as you're doing things, and you can improve your moves, and it will give you other combos to do. And this is where I think the game might eventually lose me, because there feels like, looking at the skill wheel that did open up when I did get the right to go there, it just looked like there was too much to learn, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm already not good at this sort of game, and I know I'm not good at this sort of game, so now you're going to give me a butt ton of combos to learn when I barely can play the game in its own normal format. But I think that once again, that will just simply take us back to the fact that you've got to learn, take your time. And what I'm going to do is, I believe I am going to bring someone on board to have a chat to us about the game, someone who can master it a little bit better than me and will understand the complexities of the engine, how it works, and how you can best get more out of the game. Because even in this video, I'm seeing myself through playback, realizing, wait a second, that's where I went wrong. But not everyone has you do actually, you can record your own gameplay video. But analyzing what I'm doing, I can see where I'm going wrong, and I know what I'll do next time, and it is encouraging to see that. So I would say to get it, as long as you've got patience, because you're going to be repeating the same fights a lot. But as you saw from this video, and I know I've said it multiple times, but I just want to reiterate, I want people to experience this game if they can. If you can afford it, or grab a friend's copy, I do want you to experience wherever possible, because the feeling that I got going past where I was really cool. And I don't know, I think it just made me rethink myself about, well, this is just a game, but I keep trying and I'm getting past stuff. So it does go to show that maybe if you've got stuff on in your own personal lives that you're not that sure of, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to learn from them too. Because I'm about to be schooled again, I know that, because that's how the video will end, with my death. But hey, try new things, see how you feel, even if they do make you feel as uncomfortable as this game does to me on occasion. And in the meantime, I do want to say thank you so very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it would have been a little bit boring, but hopefully the voiceover helps. I would love to be showing you some gameplay in the future where I'm getting better, and hopefully that is the case. Please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and join us over on the Grown Gamers podcast page on Facebook, where we can all talk a lot more about what's going on in our world of games, which is something that holds us all together. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and don't stress. We will get through this bloody coronavirus bullshit. Take care. Bye.